Hey guys, my name is Michaela Moore. I'm from the Diablo Valley YMCA DeBiz cluster in Northern California, a bit up north from you guys, and I'm running to be your 66th Speaker of the Assembly. Before I get into this, I just wanted to extend a huge thank you to all the delegates and all of the advisors that made it possible for me to speak to you all tonight. The opportunity is greatly appreciated, and with that, I decided that if I wanted to say something here tonight, I wanted it to be something that could perhaps help ease the transition into another year of youth in government, or even your first year of youth in government if you're a new delegate, in which case snaps for you, because congratulations on embarking on a new chapter of your life. I'm sure it will be a magical one, as are all Y&G experiences. And so with that, I wanted to share with you all today what I believe to be the most important thing that I've learned in youth in government, and that is that the only reason to give a speech is to change someone's mind, even and especially if that person is yourself. I say this because, especially in a program area like the Assembly, we're so quick to be humbled by the brilliance around us, but we oftentimes lose sight of how important our contribution is to the debate. And I remember experiencing this, especially as a new delegate, a nagging feeling of not being good enough, not being smart enough, not being knowledgeable enough to contribute to debate. But one thing to remember is that no person worth listening to ever started out this way, so don't be too discouraged if you are a new delegate. And I'll give you one example. It wasn't so long ago that I was a simple sophomore with big ideas but a little voice, and I was simply looking to add another thing to my college transcript. But as all of you can surely confirm, a little bit of YNG soon turns into a lot of YNG. And so even right now, as I speak before you, my ideas of how I view myself and what I think myself capable of are changing for the better, and this is something that I see wholeheartedly embraced by all of our delegates in the Assembly, both old and new. And so with each question, each speech, each motion on the Assembly floor, we prove to ourselves that youth in government is about so much more than just public speaking. It's about overcoming the barriers of what we think ourselves capable of in order to create lasting impact not only in others but in ourselves. And so one thing that I want to ask of you today is to never let you convince yourself that the change that you want to see isn't even worth discussing, because that fear is what stands in between us and the person we want to be, the speaker we want to become, and the state we want to live in, and ultimately the opportunities we choose to seize. And so with that, I think that it's time to answer some questions that were provided to me by one of your officers, Sir Nick Guthman, if he is present tonight. Alright, so I pulled them up. So I was presented with two questions today, one funny and one serious. I'll start off with the serious question, and that was, what do you offer that other candidates can't? And so I would say that my biggest distinguishing factor as a candidate is definitely my experience both as a moderator and as a participant in debate. I'm a seasoned debater and a seasoned YNGer, and I was a committee chair last year. I was also an assemblywoman at Spring the year previous, and I've sat in on a lot of committees, and those things have really made me critically analyze what it means to have a fun, efficient, and really wholesome committee and session experience. And I think that that's something that, and I think that those skills that I've learned as a president would really help me in creating a session like that, and I would definitely readily apply them in a chamber of my own if given the chance. And so the second question that I have is, okay, funny question. Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses, and why? Okay, to be completely honest, this question is what I was the most worried about when I was filming this video. I have spent so much time trying to figure out how exactly I feel about this question. And so, okay, here's the thing. I've obviously overanalyzed this. Okay. I'm assuming that if a duck were to grow to the size of a horse, all of its body parts would still be in proportion to its original size. Can you just imagine how big its feet would be if it were to be horse size? Because think of how big a duck's feet are in proportion to its body size. Like, that would just get bigger, and I feel like those feet could just like ghetto stomp me, and that would just not be a pleasurable experience, and that's just not something I'm trying to do. And so also, the second thing to consider, I think that it is significantly more baller to be killed in a stampede of horses than it is to be killed by a duck. No matter how big that duck is, I feel like, okay, I'm assuming that in said confrontation with these ducks and these horses, I would probably lose because I have zero athletic ability, and I just don't trust my fighting ability either. So I'm assuming that I would probably lose, and in which case, on my gravestone, I would prefer that it be written, "Here lies Michaela, trampled by a stampede of horses," then "Here lies Michaela, killed by a duck." Do you feel, you know what I'm saying? I feel like so I think that in the end, I would definitely choose to be confronted with a stampede of 100 duck-sized horses. But anyways, that was the question portion, and thank you so much again for having me tonight. I wish you guys all a happy Halloween, and I can't wait to see you guys all at Bob 1. It's been an amazing experience, and I can't wait to meet all of you. I'll be on the lookout for my friends in purple and yellow, and I'd just like to wish you guys all a good night, and thank you so much. Goodbye!